500 subscribers. Come on.
Maybe
India.
Maybe you should start cooking. Huh?
People from
Let
India.
people see how you start cooking.
Shut up.
How you gonna get
people
a pro
from
cook?
India.
Then you get
Send it to all your friends. We need 500 subscribers at least.
We're gonna get there.
Welkom bij Brothers to the Core, where urban life meets conversation. Zit klaar om meegenomen te worden in de fascinerende wereld van urban life met The Brothers. Ze delen hun verhalen, inzichten, ideeën en discussies waar je geen genoeg van zult krijgen. Of je nu een seasoned listener bent of een nieuwsgierige nieuwkomer, onze podcast is jouw ticket naar een urban trip vol ontdekkingen. Pak je koptelefoon, ga lekker zitten en geniet mee met The Brothers.
Brothers to the Core. Welcome everybody. A new chapter for Brothers to the Core. First time ever we are starting with an English spoken episode. We've been at it for quite a while in Dutch, but this is the first episode in English. So a lot of new viewers. Guys, this is an urban podcast from Europe. So it's not an American style type of podcast. It's a European type of podcast. We're more timid over here. But we have some bold statements we address every week with a specific topic. And we discuss those topics with three brothers. I'm Rob. And then we have...
Tony.
Julio.
Guys.
And tell them where in Europe we are.
We're from Amsterdam, guys. We're from Amsterdam, guys. Yep. So, yeah. Welcome for all the new viewers and listeners. The first ever English-spoken Brothers to the Core. Guys, we have a nice topic for today. Topic for today is Mama's boys with mommy issues. Guys, we know all about girls with daddy issues, but mommy issues is not very often spoken of. So, what's your take on mommy issues?
I think it's a lot of women talk about it. They refer to men as, oh, he has mommy issues.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them.
Well, we're gonna find out, Gilly. We're gonna find out.
Okay.
Men who are not acting like a grown-up. Mm-hmm. And then they often say, oh, he has mommy issues.
Yeah.
I think
it's not only about not acting grown up. It's also being like you're always paying attention to your mom. You always listen to her advice. You never make your own decisions. Yeah, things like that.
Do we have people in our own vicinity that we know of? Like, okay, that guy has mommy issues.
The guy over here, the guy that's
probably
right next to me.
Yeah, right.
No, but what do you mean with mommy issues? You know, so there's in some way we all have mommy issues.
Yeah,
in some way. So
it's
how good or bad.
Yeah, it's how you look into it, right? But we often speak about the single moms, and of course their tendency to overcare their children, especially boys. And then you need to be aware of the fact that there are some traits that boys cannot develop, like masculine traits, if they're being babied too often by their moms, right? So, and of course,
and another thing, we were talking about it a lot in our podcast, is that masculinity nowadays is not appreciated anymore. Mm-hmm. So, and you know what we do as men is we always try to adapt to what women want. That's what we do. So what you see is that men are becoming more feminine. Mm-hmm. They have like more feminine traits, and the other part that you just mentioned is that the fact that there are more and more we are seeing that we have like this one household families, single parent families. Most of the time. It's the moms who take care of the children on their own. Yeah. And in case of boys, that's when you get the boys and the men with the mommy issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna discuss it, guys. I have some statements that I will put forward to you guys, and I'm very curious.
Bold statements.
Bold statements.
Bring it.
Will they refer to you?
Yeah, probably. Probably.
You can be the judge of it.
Okay. Let's see.
The first one. Men with mommy issues unconsciously date women who are mom lookalikes.
But, well, I don't know about that one. That one that doesn't count for me. I have to say.
I hope so.
Mom lookalikes. Well, not obviously not literally, but what do you mean? Like
it's in their subconscious. They are looking for specific traits that their mom has in the women they date, because their mom is that warm blanket for them, right?
Yeah.
So with their spouse, their future spouse, they are looking for similar traits that their mom has. So it gives them confidence. And that's something they are looking for in a new partner.
Okay,
as well.
but that's not a bad thing.
Well,
I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's bad for men.
Do you want to date your mom?
No, but I don't think it's bad for men to choose a woman who has these warm traits.
Yeah.
You know, like, because it's feminine.
Yeah, but it's not just only the warm traits. It's also about your mom is taking care of you.
Yeah. Okay.
I think as a man, you should be.
You should be the one who's taking care.
Of course, everyone wants. Maybe not everyone, but most guys would like a submissive woman who listens to them, who will do things for them, those kind of stuff. But when you have someone who acts like your mom, I think that's a negative thing, because a lot of women aren't looking for a son.
Yeah. That's true.
When they're dating.
Yeah.
It's like those nurturing tendencies that their mom has. You want to see that back from, and it's almost, we're gonna get to it a little bit later. But the fact of the matter is, the way you grew up, should be different than you wanted your kids to grow up, right? Because you have a different partner, and then you're always going to compare your partner with your mom.
Yeah. And I can imagine that you can have some rules, some things that you take from home to learn your kids, right?
Yeah.
But when a man starts looking at his mom as an example, and he starts dating a woman that does the same, what is he going to bring to the table?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because he needs to be the one who's in charge. And I think where this is going wrong is in the upbringing of the single mom. She needs, at one point, she needs to teach her son how to be a leader and how to take charge of situations, because that's what he needs when he's going into the society.
Yeah.
But he's also like, he's trying to recreate something he had with his mom, and that's the toxic part. Like, he has a specific way of their relationship is special, right? Especially with single mom, they've been in the gutter, they've been through thick and thin.
Yeah.
But you cannot have that same type of situation with your future partner.
No.
So what type of relation do you have with your mom then?
So my mom, she had 3 sons, right? And she was quite aware of the fact that boys need to be boys. So she made sure the 3 of us were quite independent. And also
we were, because his mom is also my mom, and we were like 3 boys. So that, I think that's where like the masculinity, most of it came from.
Yeah.
Is that we.
The
fight between each other, the boys.
Yeah. Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
That was
exactly,
the case with the three of you.
With the 3 of us, right?
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter also was like, my mom, we were really independent. So we were not. She was not really focused on what we were doing, because we could go in and out the house when we liked, within the boundaries, of course. And then on the other hand, it's the accountability factor. If we fucked up, my mom was quite easily to say, you need to sort it out yourself. I'm not going to help you with it. Right? So, and then being independent from a young age, and also having 2 brothers who could keep you in check, you grew up differently, right? So my mom was there for us, but we didn't see her as someone like emphasizing in a partner, like, I want someone who's just like my mom.
Yeah.
But do you think that's more the case with black moms? that they teach their sons how to, and their daughters as well. And with the daughters, it's not a good thing, but with their sons, they teach them how to be independent and how to take care of themselves, stuff like that.
My true and honest opinion, the number of kids they have. If the number of kids they have is more than 1 or 2, then they want to have the kids to be more independent. If they only have 1,
then
if
that's their husband.
Yeah. Because then they're over nurturing their son.
Yeah.
And if they're over nurturing him, then he gets completely dependent on everything, and he wants that back in a future partner then as well. Because you know those guys, right? You know those guys who cannot do their own freaking clothes. They cannot wash their own clothes.
They can't even do the dishes.
They cannot do the dishes. They can't cook.
Yeah.
You know, they're still relying
They need help for everything.
Everything. And then they'll go out to the dating market, right? And give all men a bad name.
And that would give not only a bad name, but as a man yourself, you will be branded as someone who's not masculine enough.
Yeah.
So it has 2 sides of it.
Yeah. But I'm curious whether for the ladies then, if you look into it from a female perspective, because these are guys looking for traits that their mom has, but you know, what should a girl look out for if she knows, okay, this is a mama's boy?
Like what kind of traits?
Yeah.
Is someone who's not able to make decisions, who has difficulty making decisions, who doesn't take charge in certain situations, and it can be little things like deciding where you're going out to eat or which movie you're going to, stuff like that. You know, if you're more
hands-on.
No, not hands-on. If you're more like waiting for her to say, okay, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you like?
Reactive.
Yeah. Whatever you want, it's fine. Yeah. You know, that's those are the kind of things.
But also cannot say no to his mom. So when his mom asks for help, whether it's to do grocery shopping, coming home, go to her house to help her with the bills.
But
things like that. You can do some things till a certain amount. You know, but sometimes you have moms who call you for every little thing.
Yeah.
I can't find this. I need to go to and I'm not talking about moms who are unable to do it, like physical, but moms who just don't, who always count on their son.
So Gilly,
even if you're old, if he's old,
that's what I'm talking about.
But I think
we're going to get to that point. We're going to discuss it a little bit further.
I think it has something masculine in it. If you're there for your mother, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. But we're getting to that point a little bit later, right?
Okay.
So, do you think that these guys can work on an intimate relationship with their partners if they have mommy issues?
I find it a hard one. I think
it depends on
the woman.
Partner. Yeah, it depends on the woman.
Yeah, if we are talking about a woman, of course. But I believe there's a fit for everyone. Yeah, that's one thing. But in the end, I believe a woman wants someone who is able to do things, to pick up things by himself, and not to always have to wait for someone to help him or to do something for him. And of course, Tony was already talking about, and I know we're going to talk about it a little further, but Tony was also said that it's a good thing to help your mother. Yeah, to be there for your mother. You have to be there for your mother. Yeah, that's one thing. But I believe that once you have mothers who are controlling, right? And when you say no to your mother and she doesn't accept it, and you, okay, I'm coming, you know, things like that, because you have your own family, you have your own stuff, but you need to make time to go to her. Of course, I get it, but there is a certain level that you need to stop acting like a child.
Yeah.
Just say yes to everything and make your own decisions, especially when you have your own family.
Yeah, because I can imagine it for women. It almost seems like they have a second child or a third child in the house if they have a mama's boy.
Yeah.
Because they need to also clean after him, almost raise him like their mom did.
But a mama's boy also does everything that she wants.
Yeah.
So that's also something to look out for, because
You mean in the relationship? You mean
in the relationship?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
because at first she she thinks like, this is what I want, a man who does everything for me, but
he's a family man.
But that's also a mama's boy, a man who does everything she says, his partner says.
Yeah.
So he also needs to have those boundaries, not only to his own mom, but also to his wife or his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, because we touched on it a little bit, right? And I want to dive into it, because we have a lot of, in our culture, in the black culture, we have a lot of single parent households, a lot of boys only being raised by mothers.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on the development, right? From our black culture perspective, do we see the decisiveness from black men, or do we see more black men who don't show leadership, who don't show any accountability, because of the fact how they were raised?
I think what you see is not so much the fact that they were raised just by their mothers, but the fact that the father was not around to teach them, or to teach us things like being persistent in achieving your goals, not wanting to have like the short-term success, but because that's always the bad kind of success.
Not giving up.
The short term, short term. So you should always go for the long-term goals, long-term success, but that you need persistence for that, and things need time, and that's something that a father can teach his son. And I think in our culture, I think that's something that we are missing.
Yeah, and next to that, you also from your father you learn how to think logical.
Yeah,
as a kid,
more rational.
Yeah, and we all know it's no secret. Women always often react out of emotion. And when you don't get that, and you get raised by a single mom, for example, you get raised with those emotions.
Yeah.
So the way that you are looking at the world at that moment when you're an adult is different from someone who has been raised with a father.
And exactly. And if you look at in prison is filled with guys who didn't know how to deal with their emotions,
and
they dealt with it in the wrong way.
Yeah, and I believe it's worldwide that the men who are in jail. I believe the most of them are from single households.
Yeah. So and that's my take also, right? In the sense of women underestimate some of the things, some of the behaviors they showcase towards boys in particular. Those are more harming than they are doing any good, right? So really nurturing them, really always overprotecting them as well. It's something you need to be aware of, that boys, they need to make mistakes. Yeah. They need to take accountability. They need to make decisions. Yeah. Right? Because like a father, for instance, he's like, okay, go outside. If you see a dad in the kindergarten, kids playing, and a mom, it's totally different. Yeah. The dad stays at one place and he's just watching. And a mom, on the other hand,
it's always beside a kid,
always following the kid,
always moving around.
If he's going out of the slide, then she's almost holding him.
And that carries on even when they're older, right? So, I'm a basketball parent, and it's funny to see that a lot of the boys, and I think with soccer as well, right, in football, every parent on the sideline is watching their kid. But when there's an accident happening, you see the moms are running on the pitch.
Yeah, and I've seen it. Yeah,
the moms are still standing.
Not with me. But
I was one story, right? There was one story that my ex-wife told me. My kids were swimming because in the Netherlands we have so much water. You need to swim at a young age, right? You need to learn really quickly. So one of the kids was swimming, but was a little bit, not doing it well, and was like struggling a bit, right? Yeah. She told me there was a mom next to her. He was already agitated. She was like very anxious. She jumped in the freaking water.
Oh man!
She jumped in the freaking water to save her kid. Well, nothing was happening. Yeah, that's the difference, right?
Yeah, I've seen it with my nephews one time. They were one of them was playing soccer, and he got tackled. And while he was lying on the floor, and these are children 8, 9 years old, so how hard can it be? They get hit, they cry a little, and they get on. Yeah. She ran up the field, starting to make all kind of accusations towards the other kid. The referee was just surprised. Yeah. He was overwhelmed. He was looking at it. He needed a few seconds before he could act. What is this woman doing here? We're playing soccer, and then she started to have a conversation with the manager of the opposite team, telling him what he should do, stick it up there, and things like that.
It's overprotective. Yeah, it's overprotective.
But should we blame the women for this? Because they're just being themselves, protective,
it's
nurturing.
It's like you mentioned. It's like if a dad is absent,
exactly.
In the whole phase, like a dad, for instance, he can grab her and it's like, hey, just let it go, let it slide, let it slide. But that's the thing that we need to address. We see single-parent households are on the rise.
Yeah.
So we need to address it. We need to mention, like, hey, if you want to have future leaders, if you want to have great men, stop doing this. Stop doing this to your boys.
Yeah. And start thinking like, what do I find attractive in a man? Yeah. And if it's not that, then you shouldn't teach your son this.
Yeah. Agree. Guys, ready for the next bold statement?
Oh, bring it.
Yeah? A mother or a mama is a spouse or partner's biggest competitor. And Regilio, you touched on it a little bit, right? Yeah. But what you see with mama's boys is that they're so freaking clingy that they try to mold, they're trying to maneuver themselves into the relationship and try to dictate what their boy wants and needs, and that the woman should. Yeah, guys. So we were talking about the fact that the mom is the biggest competitor within a relationship, right? So she's trying to maneuver her way into a relationship if she's very. If she has a mama boy with mama issues.
Yeah, and then you're talking about if the son has a relationship with
the son has a relationship, right? So, do you know about this? Did you hear about this?
Yeah, but that's what you hear all the time, right? The relationship between mother and daughter-in-law is never a good relationship.
Yeah, it's almost toxic.
Yeah, because they're both like fighting over
the same guy.
Over the same guy, exactly. Yeah. And I think mothers have a harder time letting go of their son than fathers who need to let go of their daughter. It's like if as a father, my daughter is a little bit younger, your daughter is a little bit older, so. But I can imagine as a father, if you know that she has a good man, then you need to step aside, and now it's time for someone else.
You let them be,
to take care of her. Yeah. In the other, the other case, like the moms with the sons, I think they have a really difficult time.
Yeah,
like, to let go.
I believe so too, because you know, if a mom does that, trying to get in the relationship
yeah.
between them, it's probably because she can't let go of her son.
You look a little bit skinny.
Yeah.
Is she cooking
Yeah.
well? She's not cooking well.
She doesn't cook my food, and things like that. Yes.
Yeah.
She can't let go of her son. She needs him because she didn't have another man for all that time who was beside her, who helped her. So her son is the one who is helping her with everything.
And I think maybe she's afraid to lose him. But I think moms, they shouldn't be afraid to lose their sons, because they're as a son, your mom is always special for you.
Yeah.
And I think they should know that you
But
know.
they do know that, and that's why they play the card, right? Because what you mentioned. Oh, you need to cook this way because that's how he likes it. You need to wash the. You need. Let me.
You have to iron his clothes because he loves that.
Let me still wash his clothes for him, because I know what he likes.
I know,
That's his favorite shirt. Take care of his favorite shirt.
Yeah.
Right. But also what you mentioned, what's happening quite often. They keep ringing.
Yeah.
Every freaking day they call to the house.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that?
Yeah, and that and I agree with on that part. That's where you as a man, you need to say, okay, enough. Stop it.
Yeah, and you also have to know you're in a relationship with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to give that person your attention, your love.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not fair to your partner.
Yeah.
But
That's what I mean.
but guys, that's the thing. It's a mama's boy.
Yeah.
He doesn't see anything wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy, right? These type of men are playing the game as well. It's like, oh, you made that for me? It's not how my mama used to make it.
Yeah.
Or my mom says we need to buy the other car.
Yeah, I believe they would first say that.
Yeah.
The other one, I don't think so, because they're looking for a woman who is like their mom.
Yeah.
So they don't say anything back to them.
Yeah.
So I believe the
agree.
second one you said,
Yeah.
that's what they would say. Yeah, my mom says.
And I think women need to recognize that bit, right? That if a man often says, but my mom says, run, fucking run.
Yeah.
Because this guy is only going to compare you with his mom.
Yeah.
And moms love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think secretly they love it.
And even if they would find a woman, the guy, even if you find a woman, the mom would always have her judgment ready about the woman.
Yeah, because
it's never good. It's never good enough.
It's not
There's always something. Yeah.
And we know those games, right? Because women play games.
Yep.
How crazy this will sound, but I think they have their number even quicker than you imagine.
Yeah.
That they're calling the new partner up like, hey, I'm I'm Rogilio's mom.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah. You know, the one thing that often happens is when a mom doesn't like the girl that her son is with, she will make remarks of everything towards her. Not even to her son, but towards her.
Yeah.
You know, for like, I don't like that dress, or another color suits you better, or things like that. You know?
Yeah, because the funny thing is that, women in general, they don't like to be criticized. But as soon as they become a mom of a son, they are the first to criticize their girlfriends on stuff like that, like petty stuff, like that dress, or that dress is a little bit too tight, it doesn't fit you, stuff like that.
And I think every woman who hears this can how do you call it?
Relate.
Can relate
to
this type of stuff happening.
What also is quite often what's happening as well, because it's a trait, right? We know these type of moms are often narcissistic, they're toxic, so they control their sons.
Yeah.
And the sons are okay with it because that's how they grew up, right?
Yeah.
A new girl doesn't know that, but what will happen is she wants to try to control her.
Yeah.
Right, so she's calling her all the time, like, "Hey, can you come over? I need someone to do the groceries, or can you come over? I need you to do this and this and this for me."
Yeah.
And a girl is not gonna say no because she wants to be on the good side of her mom, of his mom, right?
Mother-in-law,
Yeah. So mothers are controlling the new partner then as well, and before you know it, there's a whole dynamic that everything
crumbles.
Not crumbles, but everything is surrounding by the mom.
Yeah, but in the end, a woman will always point out to her partner, the son.
She's gonna go to her partner.
Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the way you act or you behave, or you always run when she calls. Things like that. They will
address it.
Yeah, they will address it.
They will address it. But here's the takeaway then, right? We always know what he's gonna say. What do you want me to do? Choose between you and my mom?
Yeah, but he's right. So what should he do in that case? Because that's the difficult part.
Let the viewers decide. What should a man do?
It's quite easy. So every woman will say, like, listen, she had her time with him, right? He grew up. He's a fine gentleman. I don't know.
Now it's my time.
Yeah, but it's his future, right?
Yeah.
So he cannot go looking backwards all the time.
Back to the future.
Yeah, he needs to look forward. Like, okay, but this is my partner. I need to establish a foundation with her and establish a family.
Yeah.
You know. But on the other hand, those guys are like often like really quickly when mom is getting a freaking fit. And Tony, you mentioned it. They want to please their mom.
Yeah.
So they're always gonna please their mom.
Yeah, but let's be real. What does this do, or what happens to a guy who is a mama's boy mentally? He's in a relationship. He has a girl who wants his attention, who doesn't want him to run every time his mom calls. And at the same time, his mom is on the other end calling him every day or every week to come and do stuff for her. Mentally, that would be exhausting.
Yeah. But I think that's the case with selfish moms.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, in our case, Rob,
it wasn't the case.
Our mom is maybe even the opposite of that. Like, she's always saying, "No, I know you're busy, so I'm not going to take much of your time, but this and this and this and this." You know, so
it's so annoying that she is in trouble. And we don't know about it.
And we don't know about it because she doesn't call us. Yeah. You know, so in our case, but you have these like selfish moms. They're here exactly, and they will take all of your time and demand all of your time all the time, even though they know you're with your partner, your family, and they want to be part of it. Almost.
Would a mama's boy recognize this and acknowledge that his mom could be the one who is interfering in the relationship and give him the headaches?
It's someone else who needs to tell him that, this is not a healthy situation.
And not his partner, because he won't
not his partner, exactly,
It doesn't how much as you as a partner will complain to him about, you're doing this and blah, blah, blah. It's his mom. And you're his partner, so he's never going to choose between you. But I think if someone from the outside who is close to him tells him, brother, but you need to step up, or you need to make
his friends. But you know the difficult. But you know the difficult thing. The difficult thing about that is that you're talking about his mom, so it's difficult also as a friend to tell him. Like, you know,
no, but it isn't about you telling him to choose. That is not a thing. But you have to make him aware of what he is doing.
Okay, but let's be honest, right, guys? Let's be freaking honest.
Yeah. They should just listen to us. That's why we're doing this.
That's why we're doing this, right? But let's be freakingly honest. From the guys we grew up with, you don't know which one of those guys is really a mama's boy, because we see.
I know one.
We see one side of them. As boys, as a female, as a partner, you see everything.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for us to see like, hey, but why are you doing this? You're not gonna call it out because you don't see, especially now, you don't see each other often, and you don't wanna get there, right? You don't wanna have that conversation because it's not
situation. It's not
Yeah.
your...
You don't have anything to gain with
Yeah,
it, right? You're
exactly,
like, okay,
exactly.
you're mama's boy.
It's just it's not your place.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like for women, they need to have that conversation and say, hey, you need to get some boundaries, discuss some boundaries with your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's right. 'Cause if you're in a good relationship with a woman, maybe she knows even better than yourself what it is that you need.
Yeah.
So in that case, you should also listen to her. It's not just the other way around.
Yeah.
If she tells you something on that point, like the relationship between you and your mom, you should listen.
Yeah, but when you do that as a woman, please don't start yelling. Don't get aggravated. Stay calm.
But
Things like that. Yeah.
yeah, but that's
Yeah.
I think that's a difficult one to ask.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
but everyone knows that when you start shouting or you get angry, you don't get things done.
No.
You don't get the result you want. You get a temporary quick fix.
Yeah. But then that's why it's so structural, because those types of toxic moms, they will use every situation. Because now you're gonna live together. That's going to be a new situation that she's gonna want to redecorate the house
Yeah.
in another way that the partner doesn't want to have the house.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're getting children. Then she's like, okay, but I'm going to take care of my grandchildren in a specific way, and then she is going to use your grandchildren as a weapon. So it only goes and goes and goes and goes. So
because that's another part we didn't talk about.
yeah,
When the moms babysit, they do things like the totally opposite
yeah,
of what you
On
teach with
purpose.
your kids, and they do it on
purpose.
purpose.
Yeah,
Because you can keep telling them all the time, but no, we were not doing it. Yeah, but I'm their grandma and I'm doing it this way.
Yeah.
And it's my house.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be very freaking open and honest, right? When my kids were a certain age, I had a conversation at home, and I told my ex-wife, like, we're not gonna let the kids staying over there, because their behavior changed, and it took a week before they were back in check again.
Yeah.
So we're like,
And if they go the next Friday, you just had it on track, and then
it was
starting all over again.
It was too exhausting, and I love my mom to death, right? But it's different, It's just different.
Yeah, it's just things like not giving them candy or stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can tell that 1,000 times, but she's gonna do it. She's gonna tell them, don't tell your father.
Here,
Give it
take-
to
Or go to bed late.
Yeah.
Take some
Things
extra
like that.
cash as well.
yeah.
But you know what I mean, right? So it's like, it's often a new situation.
Yeah.
So it will only be more out of control. And I think what men also should be aware of, like, as an indicator, if you call your mom every freaking day for the daily summary, or if you're calling your mom regarding big decisions you want to make, so you have the discussion with your partner, but you're also going to call your freaking mom for the decision, for the second opinion.
Yeah.
If you call your mom for a fucking second opinion, you're not a man.
You're always getting the bad advice.
Yeah.
Because your mom wants you to be safe.
Yeah.
I see it in my line of business in recruitment, where if people they're about to take a step to go to a new get a new job and they leave their old job, and they discuss it with their mom.
Always an issue.
It's always that, because the mom always wants things to stay the way they are, because it's fine the way it is.
Yeah.
So do you really need that other job? Because then you have to prove yourself again, etc.
It's farther away.
Now you know what you can expect, and if they listen, then they come back to me and they tell me, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm like, okay.
Sounds like it happened to you that you did that.
It doesn't. It didn't happen to me, but it happened to me in a way that I had candidates who were discussing a possible switch of job, and then they came back to me and
mom
telling
said
me
no.
well, not exactly like that, but I had a discussion with my parents, and then I think I'm just fine where I am. I'm like, okay. Come on. Mama's boy.
Yeah. So as a man of the household, be mindful of the fact that you have a partner and her opinion should matter.
Yeah.
Of course, you can listen to mom, but the opinion of your wife is more important than the opinion of your mom if you're living together or even if you're...
if you have a good relationship.
Yeah, of course, right? But that's the thing. A mom, could make sure that such a relationship can become very toxic because then there are competitors.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. That's crazy.
But do you think there are also cases where a mom can recognize toxic traits within your wife or your girlfriend?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
Because they know exactly,
They know the games, right? They know the manipulative games that are being played.
Yeah.
So you often see that a mom is trying to circle around the girl, and then it's
like a hawk,
and then it's like really probing. I often say, right, if when I'm still a manager, but if there are certain conversations like very sensitive, direct conversations, I always had a second ranked woman having those conversations with the ladies, because women are way more harsher for amongst themselves than a man could ever be.
Yeah,
because they cut through the bullshit real quick.
Yeah,
the tears, the trembling.
And that is of course because there's a lot of competitiveness between women alone. So
but they know the games they play.
They know the games.
Exactly.
And they're not sensitive for it. We as men, we're sensitive. As soon as we see tears,
we're like, oh shit.
Then,
oh shit. There we go.
Okay. I'll stop.
And listen, but also if you have conversations with guys, right? If guys come like, yeah, man, I fucked up, man. Yesterday, they were like, hey, dude, cut the fucking crap. We both know you were partying your ass, right? Cut the fucking crap.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, okay. And then you're 3 sentences and you're done. With the guys, you're done, right? Yeah. But you cannot do the same with women.
No.
If they start crying.
True that.
Mothers know all the games.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good sign to make sure you audit them, right? But as a man, you need to be aware of like, okay, how can I make sure that I set boundaries for my mom, because it's not going to work in the marriage or in the relationship.
Yeah. And even if your marriage or your relationship breaks down, and you're thinking about getting another one, you need to tell your mom where your boundaries are.
Yeah.
Before she even meets the next girl.
Yeah, because it's if you keep it open,
same thing will happen.
The same thing will happen. Your mom is your mom, right? Yeah. Brings me to the last statement, guys.
That quick?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what time it is.
Doesn't matter. Bring the last statement.
Yeah. So bear with me. Yeah, last statement. Let me check, because I can make it as bold as I can make it, right?
Do it.
Let's
just do it. Do it.
Very bold. Okay, so let me make it very bold. Mama's boys are the worst relationship partners and are probably the number 1 cheaters.
Yeah.
Nope. First yes. First one yes. Second one no. Because that's the type of woman that they're looking for.
No, so what I mean with that bit, right, is like what you often see with guys who have mommy issues.
Yeah, I think he's right.
They're so insecure.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of infidelity because they have attachment issues. As soon as they have the feeling you're not looking after them, they're gonna look for that feeling somewhere else.
And not only that, it also has to do with stability and not acting on your emotions all the time.
Yeah.
And because if you do that, then you are more inclined to cheat, because your feeling says
Just do it.
Your feeling says, oh, I see there's an attractive woman, she wants me, so
let me go get it.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. But if you're more stable in your in your feelings, in your emotions, you can set it aside. You can tell yourself like, okay, this is how I feel right about this woman, but it's probably not the wisest thing to do. So I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to bring more harm than good. You know. So I think you're right.
Well, yeah. But I still believe that when you're saying that if a man doesn't feel that he's being, I don't want to say handled, but being treated the way he likes to, as a mama's boy, I'm not sure if he would walk away. I'm not sure about it. I'm curious if there are any numbers about that or something.
So I don't have any numbers about it, right?
Because the reason is because they were already looking for a type that fits the description of his mom.
Yeah, but not necessarily.
Okay. But in the end, they act like a mama's boy in the relationship.
Yeah, but the thing is with mama's boys or guys with mama issues.
Okay.
And we see it often. We had an episode about it a couple of weeks back, right? Guys who are who grew up in single parent households, they are oversensitive on criticism.
Yeah.
So you always have a mom who's your biggest cheerleader. You cannot do anything wrong.
Yeah.
You're the best. In her eyes, you're the best. Then you go out in the big bad world, and then you get criticism.
And then you realize you're not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're on the dating market.
Yeah.
And then you have a new partner, and she says like, "Hey, you cannot cook, you cannot clean. You cannot do anything."
Well, I don't think cook and clean.
No,
other traits.
In our culture, you should be able to cook and clean.
I can't cook and I can't. No, I don't.
You know that in our culture, men are most.
I know, but
best cooks. Mostly the best cooks.
Yeah, I know.
So you have to do some cooking lessons.
So you are the best cook.
I'm not saying I'm the best cook. Okay, but hey, you cannot say that you never ate at my house.
I ate, but I don't know if it was the best. I don't know if it was the best.
Listen up. When you came over, there was always food. Always.
I don't know. Man.
Okay, but we know. But I'm not gonna put some anecdotes out of there for Tony. But I know he doesn't like it.
That's his problem then, because
I only like my mom's food. I'm a mama's boy. I only like my mom's food.
That's why you don't like mine. Okay. Fair enough. Touche.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there. But there are specific traits. As a man that you need to have, right? Especially within a relationship. So if you don't have those traits, and your woman is calling you out on it, like Tony touched on the decision making.
Yeah,
and you touched on the indecisiveness, right? You cannot make any like, okay, should we go left or should we go right? You don't make a fucking decision. You're not a leader, and your woman is gonna call you out on it. It's then they're more sensitive on the fact that you spoke out, and you're like, hey, you're not making any fucking decisions.
Yeah.
And then they're overly sensitive, and then before you know it, they're going to the side chick.
Well, but that's the thing. I think that is. I don't say it doesn't happen, but I think that when a woman is fed up with it, and she makes she calls him out to it, and at some point he will be annoyed with it. I think that when his mom steps on the scene and says, "Oh, your woman, she always puts you down," and I think first he will go to his mom and not especially to another woman. That's what I believe.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? He trusts his mom.
Yeah, so that's why I don't think they would be what was the word? Cheating on the partner, but I think they would go to their mom first, cry their heart out.
But that's the
thing. I think the difference is that if a boy has been raised by his mom. Moms, they don't teach their children about delayed gratification.
Yeah.
They if their son wants something, they give it to him immediately. I want a candy. Okay, here.
Yeah.
And the same thing is with women and sex. You know, like if you want it and it's presented to you, if you're a mama's boy, what you've been learning all the years is like go for it instantly.
Grab it
immediately.
Yeah.
And a father, a dad teaches you about delayed gratification.
Yeah.
You know, don't act on it immediately or every possibility you get, because it's not going to help you.
Yeah, and it's also other things like we initially mentioned in the beginning of the podcast. It's like you're going to be a yes man. You're going to be a yes man. So that means you also have fear that she's going to abandon you, right? So you always are showcasing like, okay, you have that in your back of your mind constantly, which makes you insecure.
Yeah.
And you know how people are when they're insecure, they're all over the place. Because in their mind, they're looking for the most worst case scenarios. And they're going to act like it. How often did we hear, I cheated because I know she's doing it as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While it's not the case.
Yeah.
Right? So I think mama's boys with mommy issues are the worst guys to date as a woman.
Yeah. If I were a woman, I wouldn't date a mama's boy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
When I would find out that he's a mama's boy, then I would stop.
Yeah.
But
the problem is that we're getting more and more mama's boys nowadays. For the women, there's not a problem for us, but for society in general.
Yeah.
Like we've touched on it in other episodes as well, that you know, like the dating dynamic, it's changing.
Yeah.
And more and more men and women are single and just doing their thing, and they become single parents eventually. And so you get a lot of more and more mama's boys, because what also happens is that the women who who are single and who are dating around, and they're seeing like, okay, none of the guys they are dating are taking them seriously.
Yeah.
So they start to resent men.
Yeah.
And what they do, like when they have a son, is they want to create like the perfect partner
future partner.
Exactly. Yeah. Because they don't want him to be like that. While the guy who has these traits, they are really attracted to them, but they also hurt them. So they're teaching their son like to be like you said, like a yes man, and like they don't teach him the masculine traits.
No.
Yeah. And I think we had the discussion a couple of months back, right? We saw that Instagram reel where that mom was, and she had her son sitting in the back of the car, and then she was like, "Hey, if mama is on her period, what do you need to be? What do you need to do to mama?
Yeah.
Be very nice, be very gentle."
Yep.
She was like grooming him, right? Grooming him to be a yes man.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know, like women don't know, if she does that with a boy at that age, she's thinking, oh, I'm making him aware of what women want.
Yeah.
But that's the opposite what women need.
Yeah.
But they do know. In the back of their mind, they do know. But it's a form of selfishness.
You think?
Yeah. They're thinking about their needs at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone who's doing this for me.
Yeah.
And I don't have a man who's doing it, so my son has to do it for me. And so that's a form of selfishness.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why it's so let's say toxic to act on your son as he's your spouse or your partner, right? Because it's not the case. And those boys become men, and then they're entering the dating market, and then they don't know how to behave, right? Because these type of guys either are yes men or they have attachment issues, and they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the solution?
I don't know, man. For real. Normally, I would have an answer.
I think the solution is the fathers should be in the lives of their sons. I don't think we can't put it on women, like you should change and because they have to change their nature.
Yeah.
So,
but here's my take then, right? How can you develop men who don't know how it is to be a man?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, they need the help of family members, friends, and people they know. You know, men. I mean, then especially. Yeah, so I think that if they get the help of men, they know to help raise
the
child
right, the right man, masculine man,
and maybe not even raise, but to take him on. To take him on for some time, even if it is only to take him to practice or teaching him something how to fix things.
Yeah.
You know, a man should do that. And
Yeah,
so if they don't have a father, they have an uncle, they have a brother, they have a neighbor. You know,
or they should
best
bring
friend.
they should bring back the mandatory
Training,
and
military
army
training.
enrollment because we used to have that
We used to have it,
in the Netherlands like years ago. We didn't even have it,
We
but
didn't even have it.
like
It
40
stopped just
years
before
ago.
you got
Just
18.
before
Yeah.
I had to get enrolled, then it stopped.
I did the training
So-
and I didn't have to go.
Yeah.
You're
yeah,
that
same
old.
for me. Same for me.
Yeah, I'm that old.
But maybe we should bring that back in some kind of way.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like the basics, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I also liked what Gilly was mentioning for the, let's say, older gentleman. It's never too late to re-establish a bond with either your father, if he's still alive, or family members, male family members.
Yeah.
And to be more vulnerable on that part, like, hey, you know, if you were listening to this podcast and you were hear some things that were like, okay, recognizable.
Yeah.
Because often you don't know you have these traits because this is your upbringing. You don't know any better,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? But it's holding you back because you're in your fucking comfort zone. You're not switching jobs
Yeah.
like other people, like other men are doing,
Mhm.
right? You're stuck.
But also for the men who have kids that they didn't raise,
Yeah.
it's because it works the other way around as well. It's never too late to try to be in their life, and there's always in every phase of life there's always things you can teach them.
Yeah.
So maybe some men think, well now it's too late, they don't need me anymore. That's not the case.
No.
You know.
And one more thing, I've dated a girl some months, and she was
What's her name?
a single woman.
What's her name?
She was a single mom. Sorry,
Her name was Single Mom.
getting all confused.
Tell us. Single mom. Yeah, we'll call her single mom 1 or 2. Which one was
Single
it?
Mom.
Okay,
It's
single
pretty
mom
difficult,
1.
eh?
Single
Okay.
mom 1.
Which
Yeah,
city?
you're,
Which city?
you're
Which
both
city?
too nosy, man.
Single mom 1. Okay, tell us.
Maybe after the show. No, but listen up.
AKA future baby mama.
Listen up.
Yeah.
So when I met her, she had a child of 8 years old, and she said the kid didn't see his father, but she had a brother,
Yeah.
and she asked her brother literally, "Can you help me with showing him
I know who it
how
is.
to be a man?" And even though it wasn't a weekly thing, he did come pick him up, did some boy stuff with him.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's good.
And that's a good thing because
Yeah.
when he got home, okay, he was all hyped up.
As you should be.
Boy stuff, but she was already there in a mindset that he needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's also, so it's like a double-edged sword, right? So it's on the one hand, women need to be aware of like, okay, how can I make sure there are male figures in my son's life?
Exactly.
And on the other hand, what we're saying also is like, men, step up your fucking game, take care of your children, especially your sons, or uncles or granddads or whatever.
And they really learn from it. They really learn from
and
it.
especially if they're like teenagers,
Yeah, definitely.
then it's I think it's always good if they live with their father, boys and girls,
Yeah,
if they live with their father for a
Discipline,
period of time.
structure.
For discipline, structure, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But on the other hand, right, because we didn't touch on it in this specific episode, you can only do so much as an individual. Should the government worry with the current trend that we see a lot of single households increasing?
I don't know if the government will worry about it.
Eventually
But,
they will,
yeah.
because what will happen is that maybe we will see like crime rates going up, younger kids doing crazy stuff like shooting up schools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's happening more and more,
Mm-hmm.
and also the fact that there are less like the nuclear families,
Yeah.
and maybe even less children are getting born. And when that starts to happen, then they will like wake up and see, okay, we need to do something.
We fucked up.
Yeah.
Because you can already see it in like locations like Spain and Italy. A lot of Spanish people, a lot of Italian people are moving away from the villages. So the villages are
Only old
and,
people.
old and
Only-
great,
yeah.
and they're dying by especially with the Corona
Yeah.
stuff happening. They're
Yeah.
almost
There,
abandoned.
there are some,
some
there are even
villages
some
you can buy.
abandoned. Yeah, you can buy villages in Italy because
Yeah.
they're completely abandoned. Yeah,
And especially when you don't have like a traditional family anymore, it's only going to get worse for a country.
yeah,
You can I think Korea even has an issue because in Korea a lot of people don't marry anymore,
Oh,
and a lot of women don't want to have kids.
yeah. In Japan as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's getting out of hand. It's
Yeah.
really getting crazy at the moment.
yeah.
There are more cats and dogs being purchased, and
Yeah.
they're going. They're having kids. But we're on top of the hour, guys.
Okay.
What would you say to baby mama's boys?
You really need to check yourself about your own boundaries, and talk. Not only talk to your wife about it because she will talk to you about it, but talk to your mom about it. You need. You're a grown man. You can tell your mom that you have your own life, your private life, your family, and that they are your number one concern.
Mm-hmm.
Because that should be the case. That's what I would say. Check yourself, check and talk to your mom if you're a mama's boy.
You want to say something in Dutch? Let the world know what the Dutch language is like. So tell them something in Dutch. Come on.
It's your turn. Tell them.
Yeah,
No,
it's
you tell them in Dutch. I
this
don't
kind of
want to hear you speak Dutch. Come
Hey,
on.
listen, they can go to all the other episodes to see.
There are enough episodes that they can hear us. Yeah.
Okay, in my case, I think moms should be less selfish and just think like, okay, what type of man am I attracted to myself, or was I attracted to? Because if they're older, then it changes. But when you were young, what type of man were you attracted to? And that's the type of man you want your son to be to become. And if it means that, like your friend, that she, if the father is not around, try and see if there's someone else who can teach your son the masculine things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a brother, maybe it's an uncle, maybe it's your own father.
And I think that when you ask, you'll be surprised with the help you can get.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so as
exactly.
I think
Yeah.
so as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, my
En dat is alles wat ik wilde zeggen.
So a little Dutch as well.
Tuurlijk.
yeah.
Ook een beetje Nederlands.
Oh my god. So guys, for me, it's like set boundaries with your mom. Make her aware of like, okay, I have my new life. You cannot call me 24/7. I'm not gonna help you out 24/7. You shouldn't cook and clean for me any longer because I'm a grown ass man. And listen to your new partner, right? Because she will tell you when she's feeling insecure about the role your mom is playing, and don't replace your mom with her. Because
Okay, but so you're saying you don't want our mom to cook for you anymore? I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her.
Listen.
Remember, you said this. We have it on. We have it on tape. We have it on camera.
Okay. Here's the difference between me. Here's the difference between me and him. I was observing.
She was cooking for him. She was cooking like 2 weeks ago. 2 or 3 weeks ago. She was cooking for him.
Next time you'll be yelling, stop.
No, don't do it anymore.
Listen, stop immediately. Get the facts straight, right? I was observing. Oh, yeah, I got all the recipes. I have all the recipes, right? I have all the recipes.
Okay, so now you're gonna.
So you're gonna cook.
Okay.
I'm already doing it.
Okay.
I'm already doing it.
When?
When did you not come?
He wants to come into your house.
You were not at my house.
He's gonna be a brother's boy.
No, but you're
okay. So next time I'm gonna tell our mom, like, if she tells me that she want to cook for me, I'm gonna tell her, no, you don't have to do it. I'm going to Rob.
Listen,
he's gonna do it for me.
When we were on holiday in France, who was cooking?
Yeah. But who was cleaning?
You.
Hey. Who was cleaning? I was cleaning.
Man and wife.
Like a maid.
No.
I was like a maid.
I did the cooking.
He did the cooking. Yeah, that's true. He did the cooking.
And you like that shit.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
if you weren't brothers, I thought you were a couple, man.
Oh my god. But in all fairness, right? The dynamic that I have with my brother, we don't need to say anything.
Yeah.
Because we're aligned on that part.
Yeah.
So that's the funny thing, that we know each other.
I get that.
Yeah.
But closing out, guys. Every Friday we have a new episode. It will not all be in English, but we will ensure.
But you can watch it with subtitles.
Yes,
talking to the camera.
Do that.
People
then you can
from
watch every episode.
The US, people from India, wherever, you can all watch all our
from
episodes.
Zimbabwe.
Just put the subtitles and you can watch.
Yeah, we will make sure, if you like that button, if you smash that like button, if you get 100 likes,
subscribe. We need 500 subscribers. Come on.
Maybe
India.
Maybe you should start cooking. Huh?
People from
let
India.
people see how you start cooking.
Shut up.
How you gonna get
people from India.
Then you get
Send it to all your friends. We need 500 subscribers at least.
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
We're gonna get there. Every weekend, guys. Brothers to the core. We're out.
Bedankt voor het luisteren naar deze uitzending van Brothers to the Core, where urban life meets conversation. Heb je genoten van deze aflevering? Vergeet dan niet dat je deel kan uitmaken van onze community. Volg ons op de socials, subscribe op ons YouTube-kanaal en geef je feedback en rating. Je vindt de links in de beschrijving en in onze bio. We horen graag wat jou bezighoudt en wellicht bespreken we jouw topic binnenkort. Voor nu, bedankt en tot gauw.